But anyway, so when I decided, what was it? When I was streaming out of my bedroom, that's what it was. And I was like, the computers would make that room so hot. By the end of a night stream, it would be like 95 degrees in my room, and it was like terrible. So I commandeered the old Halloween costume closet, and I built like a shelf in there, and that's where the PCs are, or the server PCs sitting. So yeah. I have some modded capacity. I got you. Awesome, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah. Oh, I had to get the PCs out of my room at the time. It was because the problem was, you know, the rest of the house, you know, was a nice, cool, say 70 degrees, because that's what thermostat would be set on. And I would just be dripping in sweat back in those days. Yeah, it's where the server PC is at, sitting there about, actually the old server PC sitting right next to it still, but anyway. It's running completely headless, does not have there's not a keyboard or a mouse. It's literally a power cable and a Ethernet. That's all that's hooked up to that computer right now. So I run it completely remote, which is the way a server PC should be run. So as far as I'm concerned anyway, it's kind of nice. But yeah, run it completely remote, and it's a good time. It is a good time. There actually is something I need to do on it that I can only do on it though. One of these days I'm gonna have to plug in a monitor and a mouse. But that's all right. It's fine for now. Do I even have a monitor down? I don't even know. I have an old square it's an LCD, but it's square. But it takes VGA. I'd have to take a DisplayPort to VGA wire downstairs with me. Actually, there's probably already one down there. Yeah. Like find some old like trackball mouse laying around, plug into it for a minute. There's one thing I need to do on there that I can't, they won't let me do it remotely. So there's a setting I'm using. I use TeamViewer for the remote access, and there's a setting in TeamViewer I need to turn on, and it won't let me do it remotely. So yeah. KVM or USB? True, I could, but I don't ever, yeah. I don't ever need to have that thing plugged in. It's literally one checkbox is all I have to check, and then I can unplug it again. So, oh man, well, that's okay. It's all good. Let's see, from where's that computer's sitting like roughly in the middle of my house right now, and I'm like, you know, on the end, so it's nowhere near my my main setup here. That's okay. Bear, are you talking about at the gold farm or the main sorter? It's technically the gold farm is a sorter too. It takes a while out there, yeah. Assuming it's not all plugged up with like dirt or something, but just yeet them in there, they'll be fine. They should be fine. I guess if the entire sorter was backed up to the bubble column, then you could have issues, but that would take a lot. And I know Trent was in there last night and like emptied the trash and stuff, or was working on it, so it should be fine. Yeah, just eat stuff. It especially there. So I think, yeah, for it to get there, it has to run through most of the system to get there. So it's a lot. Wait. That's the wrong one. You dropped it in the ingots box? Is it misspelled in Minecraft? Is that what it is that what you're getting at? Is it misspelled? Because those aren't in the ingots. Are you talking about like the little chests by like the fuel and the food? Those up there, you dropped it in those? I didn't realize Trent misspelled his sign. I don't ever look at them, but I'll be honest. I just drop them all in the... okay, I think that's the wrong place. There. It needs to be dropped in the barf 1, 2, or 3. Because technically that shouldn't say ingots. It should say raw ores. It shouldn't say ingots. Because that's going right into a furnace, which you can't smelt an ingot. So an ingot is what you get out of a raw ore. So I can take care of it later. I'll have to go behind the scenes. It'll just be sitting in a hopper. It's not a big deal. Yeah. See, Bear, I wanted to make that all automatic. So if you walked in there with like gold ore, iron ore, whatever, you would just put that in a barf chest and then the system would pull it out and smelt it. I was overruled on that, so. Yeah, that's a problem for later. Don't worry about it. It's fine. They'll be safe. They're not going to go anywhere. So yeah. Not a big deal. But I've always thought it would have been slick just to make that all automatic. Right? So like if you drop, you know, even like if you drop raw steak, there is no spot in the sorter for raw steak. There's a spot in the sorter for steak. But what you would do is make a separate little sorter off to the side and have it pull out raw steak and raw chicken and raw pork and iron ingots and, or sorry, iron ore and gold ore, and just cook all that, you know, and then throw it back into the system so it goes to storage. But well, it didn't happen. So, but that sorter is not my build. I don't claim that sorter. I didn't build it. So yeah. We'll leave it at that. We will leave it at that. All right. All I know is I'm harvesting corn, chat, and we could be harvesting sugar beets. Because that sounds like fun, right? That sounds like fun. Not at all. Actually, what server was that? Trying to think back. Oh, that was the server where we had the big excavation site right behind our sorter building. Our sorter building looked like a Lowe's. I think it was called Plow Mart, but it looked like a Lowe's. And we did have that where it would pull out all the smeltable items. It would pull them out automatically and then throw them back into the system. That was that map where we had the huge sewer system. I love the sewer system personally. It was such a good way to like move stuff around. It's so fast and efficient. It was great. Absolutely great. Kind of miss the old sewer system, honestly. I have to run it back, chat. We don't really have items to move around like that anymore, though. I guess unless we wanted to hook stuff up to the sorter would be the only way, but with the sorter only holding 2 double chests of things, you kind of don't really want to input like your farms to it, because you're just going to overflow it, have to empty it constantly, and Yeah, it wouldn't be good. Would not be good. All right, he's done with his land. I'm going to go ahead and empty what I have. I'm trying. I learned last harvest with this grain cart, it's better to not get the thing very full behind this tractor. This tractor does not really care for it when it's full. So, which we're only 44 now. You got to watch the turns too. I turned way too sharp there is what happened. So it's kind of a thing. Kind of a thing. That's okay. It's all good. Oh, Bessie. Plus then it just takes forever to empty too, but that's fine. But we're making good progress. We almost got field 4 kind of cooking on field 4, so that's good. Oh, we got up to 98. It should be 95. Why is it 98? I mean, I'll take it. Heck yeah. Precision numbers are looking better, chat. That one's still messed up because I messed up, but the rest of these, they should be 95 is what we should be aiming for here. They'll be 100 if we ever get some no-till corn planters. But sadly, the Kinsey has not been on sale once since we started this map, which is very unfortunate. So, yeah. Very, very unfortunate. That's okay. I guess. I don't know. Okie. Now we just need to figure out, chat. One of our next builds in Minecraft is going to be a train station. Got to figure that out. We need to have like some rules about like what level are we going to dig tunnels on? Are we going to go above ground? Are we going to go underground? Are we going to go on the surface? Like, yeah. Maybe I'll get fancy and look up if you can autocraft train track. Bear, the autocrafter that I have set up will make train track. It's all about placing items in the appropriate chest and the appropriate, like, you gotta place it by the recipe, if that makes sense, in a bunch of chests, and then turn my autocrafter on and it'll make train track. We can mess with that tonight if you want. If you'll be around. I'll show you how that autocrafter works. Yeah, we are gonna need a lot of track though. I have a feeling. Because if nothing else, I want to get a train track to the end portal. I think one to the Guardian farm would be cool. And what else do we have that's kind of far away? I don't really know. Maybe that desert we went to the other day. We try to be okay. All good. I was actually going to fire up the autocrafter and make a whole bunch of bamboo planks, and then probably throw them right back in and make a bunch of chests. Because most of the things I build, you know, let's be real, it ends up in like hoppers and chests, you know. Like I want to build that farm, the villager farm thing. Well, that's going to require a bunch of hoppers and some chests. And you can take bamboo and turn it into planks, and then turn it into like a block of bamboo, turn it into planks, then craft the planks into chest. So I was gonna mess with that at some point. Maybe I'll do that tonight too. I don't know how much bamboo we have. I need to change the bamboo storage so we get a lot more. I should just put a shulker box loader on the bamboo farm. So it just loads shulker boxes and breaks them, like right there. That'd be pretty sweet, actually. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should put, maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should put a sewer system in. Put a sewer system in and connect like all those farms that are around there. And then just have it sort and do a bunch of shulker box loaders. But what are you going to do with 100 shulker boxes of watermelon, you know? Nothing. That's the point. Nothing. Goodness, too much stuff sometimes, but I'm a bit of a Minecraft hoarder, so it's whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, that crop farm, that's gonna need a bunch of chests or a bunch of hoppers. I actually saw a thing on the internets the other day and I went and tried it, and by golly George, it worked. So I'm gonna try to do something kind of weird with the farms to make them work without mine carts or any moving parts. That's the hope anyway. That is the hope. I actually want to use the I want to use the copper golems to sort the outputs from that farm. That's the hope. So we'll see. It might be too fast for the copper golems, but whatever. I think it would be hilarious to use the copper golems personally, so. Yeah. All right. More corn. Never enough corn. I don't even know how much corn we have. 370, and I know the pigs need some. Pigs are almost full, actually. I guess that truck is hauling. So, not terrible. Of course, having not having field 3 in corn did not help us this go around. Although we still have field 6 to do, so. And 1 in part 8. So we got lots of corn to go still. What's the saying? Never enough? Yeah, never enough. Yeah, yeah. I really want to start drying some corn and making like, maybe make some popcorn, although I don't have any butter anymore. Since I don't have any dairy cows, so maybe we won't do that. Still want to make some dry corn. Dry corn is such a thing where I'm at, so it's like, might as well do some of that. Kind of make it seem like home, you know? Or something like that. That's okay. Come on, Bessie. No, don't bully me. Don't do it. Alright, since fields are almost done, let's grab some other tractors and get oh, you know what though? We got big lime spreaders now. I don't know about putting that big lime spreader on that tractor. I mean, big wheels could handle a lime spreader. I do big wheels, and then we've got a tractor sitting in the shop too, that Massey we just bought. Put a wagon on it, or a lime spreader on there. Although actually we still have one of the old lime spreaders we need to sell. We need to sell that disc. Got equipment we can sell. But that's all right. It's you know, we're saving it for a rainy day kind of thing. So maybe Thursday when it's raining. It is supposed to be raining Thursday. They're talking about thunderstorms and maybe some naders to our east. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on weather. Thursday. We got that Massey too. I forgot about that Massey. Blacked out Massey. Let's grab a little lime here. Refill that. Yeah, it's been a while since we've had some weather, so you know, we need the rain. I'm not going to complain about the rain if we get some. So. It's actually would be a good thing at this point. So bring on the rain. All right, the one downside to this tractor pulling anything, the speed at which said tractor likes to drive. It's not fast. Almost need to buy a low boy. Put it on a low boy and haul it around. It'd be faster. Be more fun too. That's okay. Because honestly, this 18,000 liters of lime should do one of these fields that we're in the process of harvesting. Because we're just doing a maintenance pass of lime, so it really doesn't use much. Plus, I guess if we had to, we could buy lime at the shop and it'll be right there. Or we buy that second tender trailer and fill it back up with lime like we had the other day, but we decided to put seed in it. Yeah. I like somebody slammed a trash can lid outside. Wonder if the guy across the street's outside. I wonder. Alright, go run this down there and get it going. On this, what is it, field 3? 4? Field 4 is almost done, so we'll get it going on 4. And then I guess we'll take both combines over to 6. And you know what? We might just do one combine. We might just do one. We'll send the other one to 1. And divide and conquer, if you will. I think that'll be the plan for now. Freaking windy outside, chat. Man, I heard somebody going down the highway yesterday, and I thought somebody's car was blowing up, man. It was so bad. I guess they had like a clapped out like Civic with a fart can on it, you know? My God. Yo, Fat Dad, what's going on, man? How you doing? What's poppin'? But I thought there was going to be a call for a blown up car going down the highway yesterday. Like, dude, it was crazy. It might have been Sunday night. I don't know when that was. Thanks for that follow. Welcome in. What's poppin'? How's it going? What is up? Hey, my combine's full. I should probably empty it. Right. I'll get it home. I'm doing good. Just, you know, farming, talking a little Minecraft, you know. Talking PC stuff earlier, you know, we're just chilling. Just can't keep up the combine, you know. It's typical things, you know. Yeah, we're just chilling. Looking forward to a busy day tomorrow. Pops and I think are gonna we're gonna have a little road trip tomorrow, a little adventure, so yeah. I think, I don't know. John sounds good, yep. Oh, he told me last night, chat, that he put our side-by-side back together. He got the new seals in yesterday. FedEx dropped them off, and they were actually in one piece. It was amazing. And the guy did yeet him on the front porch, but anyway. He said he put it all back together, and I was like, okay. Because for those of you keeping up with that saga, our side-by-side's got a terrible noise coming from like the rear end somewhere. I don't know if it's a wheel bearing or if it's the actual rear end or the one drive shaft that goes kind of from the transfer case towards the front. there is some slop in the U-joint there, which that drive shaft spins. You know, if you're moving, that drive shaft's spinning, because the four-wheel drive actually gets turned on and off in the front end. So that drive shaft's always spinning, and there is some play in that one, but it's just, I don't know. And so we took one wheel off, and we found out the seals were really bad, but we don't think that's causing our noise. So he ordered some new seals and put it back together yesterday, but like, we only took one wheel off, right? And my thing is, we haven't found anything that's like the obvious, this is our noise, right? And so I wanted to keep tearing. I wanted to take off the other rear wheel. Because if nothing else, if the seals are dry rotted on the left rear tire, you know the seals are going to be dry rotted on the right rear. Because it was built at the same time. They've never been replaced, right? So obviously if one set's dry rotted, the other set's going to be dry rotted. And, but he is very adamant that we are not taking that right wheel off. And we are not gonna keep digging to find our problem. But it's like, okay, we're gonna put it back together, and then he wants to go drive it. I guess we're gonna go drive it tomorrow. But it's still gonna make the noise. And then my thing is like, okay, if it's in the rear end, if it's there's like a little gearbox back there, you have to take the wheels off to get that off anyway, because the drive shafts have to come out of the gearbox or out of the rear end. You got to pull the drive shafts to be able to take the gearbox out. So it's like, I don't know. It seemed kind of silly to me to put it back together. At least in the way my head works, like, we're gonna have to take it back apart. So like, why put it back together when we haven't found the problem? I guess I don't know if like I'm more of like the exploratory surgery kind of, you know, is how I'm looking at it. Like, you got to keep going till you find the problem. But he is very adamant that we're not doing that. So I did kind of just say the other day, like, I'm not going to argue about this anymore. And he just kind of looked at me. I'm not doing this anymore. So he wants to put it back together and then have to take it back apart later. Well, I guess that's fine. I just think it's kind of weird to put the thing back together when we haven't found the issue yet. So yeah, because to me, at least in my opinion, it sounds like a very bad bearing is what it sounds like to me, because it reminds me kind of the front tire on our zero turn last year. We puked a bearing in that front left tire, and you know, the bearing was like, sometimes it would spin fine, other times the tire didn't want to move and it sounded terrible. And I mean, the race was destroyed. The bearing was destroyed in the tire there and the rim. And that's kind of what this sounds like, but I don't think it's at the wheels. I think it's in the in the rear end or in the transfer case or something. Transfer case / like transmission, it's all kind of one thing. It's somewhere else in the system. I don't know. To me, we shouldn't run it at all the way as bad as it sounds. It's horrible. So to me, we need to just keep ripping and tearing until we find what's wrong with it. And yeah, maybe you have to spend a few dollars on maybe a few bearings or a few seals, but at some point we're going to have to get to the problem. So might as well just rip and tear until we get to the problem. I don't know. I forgot I bought a third plow, chat. Totally forgot about that. That does have a steering axle, okay. Alright, let's go fill this bad mamma jam up with lime as well. And then we'll take this down to the field we've been harvesting in. And get it going. Again, just a maintenance pass, so not bad. But anyway, so I guess no exploratory surgery is gonna happen, at least not yet. So we'll see. Kind of frustrating, but it's okay. Dealing with family can be frustrating sometimes. And it's showing up right now. We'll just put it that way. Because I even asked them, I'm like, well, what would you guys do at the lawnmower shop if like something had a noise and you didn't know what it was? Wouldn't you just kind of like, you know, try to find the problem? And he goes, well, you would run more diagnostics. I'm like, yeah, but you can't really do that on this side-by-side without taking it apart. And he's like, I know. I'm like, do you though? Do you though? Oh, man. I mean, I'm not a side-by-side expert by any stretch, but I want to keep ripping until we find the problem, you know? But whatever. It's what it is. Okay, that's like done. Sweet. Last pass. Oh, but he did go back for that little bit and that. Okay. The bump out. That's good. And see, the other thing coming up is there's that consignment sale that I've kind of talked about coming up at the end of the month. And I know he wants to go. So it's at a large facility. So the only way we're going to go is if we have our side-by-side. For him to not have to walk all of it. So I'm kind of betting he wants to put the thing back together and then take it to the auction, and then after that maybe he'll agree to take it apart. I don't know. My thought was let's rip and tear and find the problem and order parts and get it done, you know, but I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to do exploratory surgery because of the on the Alice B. I was like, man, the rear end's kind of noisy. So we like took the whole rear end apart on the tractor. And we found two bearings in the rear end of my tractor that were noisy. They were the reverse bearing gears. Reverse bearings for the bearings for the reverse gears, whatever you want to say that, right? And that took us 4 months to find those. So, yeah. Finally found a guy, I think he was in North Carolina. Called him up and told him what we were looking for, and he's like, oh yeah, I got those sitting on the shelf over here. How many you want? Nobody else had them. Every bearing like contact that Dad had over the years of working in the lawnmower shop forever, nobody had them. Finally somebody was like, oh yeah, call my buddy Fred up, he's got everything. Sure enough, Fred had it. Looks a bit brownish. Fire Shadow, what's happening? Why does it look brown? Why does it look brown? Dusty? Is it dust? It also be brown. Is there a slurry spreader? Like, what's happening? It's probably dust, right? That's crazy. Crazy. All right. Probably dust, the wind's blowing. I got you, Fire. That's crazy. You know, it's funny when like y'all in Kansas or maybe Oklahoma or Texas get like a big dust thing going on, you know? And then if we get a little rain here in the St. Louis area, all of our cars will be like filthy and everybody's like, where'd that dust come from? It's like Texas. Thanks, Texas, you know? Yeah. Good afternoon. Welcome in. What's poppin'? You get that dirty rain sometimes from y'all. Dirty rain. It's actually a thing. It's kind of wild. To be honest. Okay, which way is Buddy turning? Buddy's turning that way, so we can leave that grain cart for a second. Welcome in. What's going on? Winds blowing between 30 and 40. I think that's what it's supposed to be here tomorrow, Fire. It's kind of windy out now, but I think tomorrow it's gonna crank up and kind of get after it. And then Thursday we're supposed to have storms, or I think we're on the edge. I have to check the severe weather outlook. I think we're on the edge of it. Seems like St. Louis is on the edge of it a lot, you know? Just saying. All right, get this combine going here. Right here. Get this going. I don't know why I went to that page, because I don't need to. That's all right. 30 to 40. Yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Go up here and get this guy fired up, and then we'll go grab our... honestly, the other combine's done too, so... we'll go grab him and put him over in 1. I guess. So we'll finish up in 8. With the little bit that we have there. Alright. First thing I'm going to do is change his auto drive. So I don't accidentally call grain carts from way over here to over there. Might be a little awkward. That's alright. Go ahead and get this skipper too, why not? Although Kimmy's not around to yell at me, so... it's alright. It's 300 liters, 331 liters of corn. A skipper that might have actually been worth it. Actually worth grabbing. Wowzers. We're gonna sneak through here. Although that is my car and I have to be careful there. That is field 6. Don't really want to run it over, you know. Sneak through here and say hi to the high GPU usage. There it is, yep. It's an alfalfa field. Kind of tempted to buy all the alfalfa fields and plow them under and sell them back. It's like the opposite of field flipping. You know? Just to get rid of the alfalfa. That would be something I would do. Buy the field, plow the field, sell the field. Yeah. Alright, so let's change this guy over to here. We are going to have to go move the... we're going to have to go move the baler. And stuff. Over yonder. Oh, is he? What kind of turn is he doing? Yeah, worker, what was that? Sometimes we just smile and nod. That should be all we have to do there. Change this guy over. Pick up there. We're going to drop off there. Go. And we need our trucks as well. I need to change our trucks over. Pick up from there. You're dropping off in the same place. And then I need my truck to move as well. Down yonder. Okay, I think we are moved. Combine, trucks, grain cart. Just need my green card. Okay. Let's go. Come on, Bessie. Man, I don't know about anybody else, but I was so locked into Minecraft last night, chat, that when the guys started playing tic-tac-toe at the end of stream there, I like straightened my left arm out and like my elbow hurt. Cause I just had like on the keyboard for so long. Like I need to stretch my arm out. It's killing me. That was a little more Minecraft than I wanted last night, but that's okay. We got the project done. We got the project functional. There's still work to be done. Got to do something to make it look better. And I'm still not sure what that's going to be. I don't know if we're going to glass the whole thing in or... It's kind of a lot of glass, though, is the problem. Maybe we, I was thinking, you know how the kelp farm has like the hoops. It's like a hoop barn almost. We could make a giant hoop barn over that whole thing. That might be a lot, though. What if we built like a stadium over it? Like a legit, like, football stadium. Like a dome over the whole build. We have to make it super big, super tall. That thing would have to be wildly massive. Just because of the height that we have to have there. Could be an option, honestly. Could be an option. You know, once upon a time, we built a hockey rink on an old Minecraft server. Or like a hockey stadium, brother and I did. Dude, it had a puck that would drop. It was a piece of cold, like a puck. We even had like the red flashing lights in the behind the nets. Or there were no nets, but he even made locker rooms. So we had it all. We never did use it for its intended purpose, but it was quite a build. Quite a build. We should pick some like, oh, what's the one in Indy? Is that Levi? What's the football stadium in Indy? That would be a cool, it's all like brick. That could be an awesome build. I think it's Levi Stadium. That would be wild. Brick and like glass. Be a huge build. It's just to get the height that we need. You'd have to build something huge. That's alright. Alright, although collecting that much clay might suck, so. That's alright. Alright, so we got our big field. What's wrong with Buddy over there? Buddy's waiting for a grain cart? Grain cart's there. Okay, I was gonna say. What is happening there? Jeepers. Alright, let's ride with Buddy here. Other one's got his guy. Trucks are in place or should be in place. We're hauling corn to the pigs right now. Kinda got stuff rocking. Where's the thing that I want? Where's the beef, chat? It's not what I want. Do I not have that anymore in my phone where I could just like beep boop bop and it's there? I guess not. Used to could, huh? It's unfortunate. All right, let's not crash now. Let's not flip a grain cart over. Jeez. That could be a problem. Let's not get in the way of the combine either. I'm just gonna let the combine run. I need to empty though. I know my grain cart's down here. We'll be okay. Okay. Oh yeah, okay. St. Louis is right on the edge of severe weather again. Okay. I'll be here Thursday, so if we get any weather, we might have to go on a run on the battery chat. We might get to use our battery on Thursday. We get ourselves a thunderstorm. I have enough battery now where I can completely disconnect myself from the grid. Although the server PC is not disconnected from the grid, but out here, this setup, completely connect or disconnect from the grid and run on battery for. Realistically, I could probably run on a battery for about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, something like that. That's like a realistic kind of thing. And the battery wouldn't be completely toast. It'd be pretty close though. I actually haven't tried like a simulated issue. And I think, yeah, I had to use it once where I disconnect from the grid. That was before I had the expansion battery to the battery thing that I have, so. I was able to run about 45 minutes that time, comfortably. I could have gone a little farther, but ran about 45 minutes that time. So with the expansion battery, it's the same size battery, just a second one basically, so. Should be able to run for quite a bit of time. At least that's the hope. That's all right. No bullying. I know I have 67,000 liters on board. Come on. Well, so that's the thing. I started my battery journey with just like your regular UPS, right? I've got, is that gonna make it? Okay. I've got 2 of those sitting out here, one for each computer. And yeah, I only get about, 10, 12 minutes maybe off of those. But, was that I think it was Black Friday. Or Cyber Monday. I think it was Cyber Monday. I really was interested in, I guess, what you call a solar generator. I don't have the solar panels, so I just call it a battery backup. But it's an EcoFlow is the brand. And I did a ton of research on them, and that's why I landed on an EcoFlow. And it's a kilowatt battery. Right? Kilowatt battery. So basically it's just a different brand Jackery, yeah. So it's one that it comes with like a kilowatt battery. It'll run 1800 watts through it like all the time if you want. And then it does have it does have like UPS mode, but it's not as fast. Like it'll actually, if I unplug it right now, the UPSs that I have, so basically I have computer, UPSs, then the big battery, right? And then the big battery to the wall, which might be overkill. But the theory behind it, there's kind of 2 theories why I even bought the thing. The Jackery 300, nice. So there was 2 thoughts when I bought this thing. I'm like, one, I can run it as a UPS, although I found out later it's not a fast enough UPS. It's a kind of a slow UPS. So for the computers, I don't think UPS mode would actually work. I never actually tried it, but it trips out. My other UPSs will kick on if I unplug the big battery right now, right? But the other theory was, you know, it's a kilowatt battery. So if we have, say, a power outage, I can just take the thing and carry it into the house and I can run my fridge on it or whatever. And then they had a sale on the expansion batteries. So the expansion battery is another kilowatt. So I have 2 kilowatts of battery sitting next to me here. And so then the thought was, okay, if we get a thunderstorm, I can just unplug from the grid and run on battery. And I don't need to end my stream because everything's, you know, disconnected. So, yeah. Run sump pump if needed. Yeah, no, that's great. It's awesome. Hang on, I'll have to look up in the app which model it actually is. But so yeah, I've got the expansion battery now. So the one time I had to use it when streaming, I was able to go about 45 minutes completely disconnected from the grid. Now the server PC is not disconnected from the grid, so we are taking that one kind of and risking that PC, but modem and router are on a different battery, but it's, well, router's on this one, the modem's on a different one. Everything's battery backups for the whole shebang. The server PC's on its own battery downstairs too. So I ended up with the Delta 3, but I believe there were different models of Delta 3. It's the one that has 6 outlets on the front, if that helps. Because I believe there's different models of the Delta 3. I don't remember exactly which one. Classic, maybe? Delta 3 something. So, yeah. Yeah, like a modem router, they don't use. Yeah, they don't use any kind of power, yeah. Yeah, so my modem is actually plugged into the big battery here, or it's through the system here. The router. The modem is up on a shelf. It's got its own little battery. I don't know how long that one, I've never tested to see how long it can run. I know it can run probably a long time though, because it doesn't use hardly any power. The only thing I think that's not actually hooked up to a battery, and I need to go check this. Or no, I changed it a while back. It is hooked up to a battery. There's an Ethernet switch in our basement that provides Ethernet to like first time and to where the server PC is. And at one time that wasn't on a battery, but it is now. So like everything, I think everything's on a battery. I want to say everything in like my whole system is on a battery. Because I actually rebuilt 2 old UPSs last year. I went and got new batteries for them. And actually, I kind of have a spare right now. I think I'm going to give it to my aunt and put it on her fish tank. So if we lose power, the fish can still have, you know, air. I think that's a good use of a UPS, honestly. Is her fish tank are like her top priority in life, you know? So one of these days I need to hook that up. Now that we're going to be getting into storm season here soon. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Modem router switch on a UPS, computer on another. Yeah. Honestly, these it's pretty crazy the how far they've come with this stuff, honestly. And what's cool with I'm sure the other brands have it too, but like with the EcoFlow, I'm not sponsored, by the way. I paid full price for it. It was on sale, but I paid for it myself. I didn't get it sent to me. But the cool thing with it, like in the app, so I can set in the app how much I want it to charge. As far as like how many watts I want it to draw. So right now I only have it set for like 100 watts. So yeah, it takes a while, but you know, if I wanted to crank it up and really get the thing charged, I can do that too. I can crank that sucker up. But most of the time it sits here at about 90% charge, which is what they recommend. Don't let it get below. I think it's either 10 or 15%, and don't really take it over 90. Recommended by EcoFlow. It's in the app, so it's like, okay, that's fine. But it just sits here and, you know, does its thing, which is pretty cool. It also allows me to like see how much wattage I'm pulling for stream and everything right now, which I think that's really fun. So right now through this battery, I'm pulling about 970 watts. And that's just, you know, stream PC, gaming PC, all my monitors, lights, router, all the accoutrements, you know. So it's kind of, it's got USB right on there. It's got a 12 volt DC. Like you can run stuff like you run off your car, you know. I could get solar panels for it, which would actually be kind of sick. But they're like not permanent solar panels. They'd be like more of a temporary. And I don't know, what do you do with those? Like set them out in your yard, then you have to move them all the time. I don't want to mess with that. Be cool to get like permanent solar panels, put them on a roof, and then like during the days be able to run off solar to stream. Like that'd be awesome. But I think I'd have to get a building permit and stuff for that for my city. Because actually the air conditioner that I have, which we can knock air conditioner off the bingo card now, because I mentioned it. So it's a DC style inverter mini split. Okay, so it runs actually on DC, and they actually sell them with solar panel hookups. Because if you think about it, this makes all the sense in the world. It plugs into, it's like 110 otherwise, right? 110, it runs on a 15 amp. It only draws like 1200 watts, like at max. And so if you think about it, like the most of the time, or the peak cooling time during the summer that you need, the sun is shining. And if you could take that sun and turn it into air conditioning, I just think that's brilliant personally. So actually, technically, if I wanted to, I could plug the mini split to the air conditioner. Or sorry, the mini split to the battery. I wouldn't be able to run the battery very long, or the AC very long, but it would technically work. Because it doesn't draw 1800 watts, so. Yeah. What solar? Yeah, I think solar on the house would be awesome, but I don't know. I think in my town, you got to jump through a lot of hoops. Because, you know, when they started putting solar panels up everywhere, there were a lot of, I'll just say it, there were a lot of Karens complaining about the look of solar panels and stuff. And I don't know if solar is necessarily the answer to everything, but you know, if I could slap a few solar panels on my roof and be able to run my air conditioner every day off of them, I would probably, if it wasn't such a nightmare with my city, like I would have probably have done that back in the day when I bought my air conditioner. I bought the one without the solar hookup, so I can't do it. But if it wasn't such a nightmare, we would have done that. But it's a nightmare with our city. And then the interesting thing about those solar panels too, because it's sold by the same company that sells the air conditioner, obviously, they don't even hook to your grid. They literally just hook to the air conditioner. So there's no batteries required. There's no charge controllers. There's none of that kind of stuff. You don't hook it to your house at all, besides like, you know, some screws to hold them down so they don't blow away in the wind. Like the air conditioner itself does the, you know, I need this power. I've got, let's say 500 watts of solar, but I need 1,000. So I'll pull 500 from the house. Like the air conditioner is smart enough to do that, which I think is wild, right? It prioritized the way it was, the way they have YouTube videos that explain it. You know, it prioritizes the solar. So if there's solar available, it's going to use solar. If not, regular AC power, wall power, you know? So it's pretty wild. I actually watched a video from a guy on YouTube that has my same air conditioner. And he had it rigged up running, it was for his garage. Okay? But he had a camper trailer that was parked next to his garage. And on top of the camper trailer, he had like 1,000 or 1,200 watts or something. He had something. He had a decent sized like solar setup on top of his camper, right? And so he just ran the air conditioner off of his camper. And he had batteries in his camper. And so during the day, it would run the AC plus charge up his batteries a little bit. And then at night, he's like, I keep my garage at like 65. I don't know where this dude lived. He's like, yeah, keep it at 65 because it's all free energy. And I'm like, dude, that's kind of wild, you know? Like that would be kind of nice to have, you know? So I remember telling Pops, I'm like, all right, I need to buy a camper trailer. Park it next to the garage. He's like, absolutely not. It was not about that. But that would probably be a way to get around all the city, you know, hoops with putting solar on your house. Just saying. And then technically, you know, with those panels not even being hooked to the grid, I don't know how that works for the city stuff, so. I didn't look into it too much. I looked into the part where like you need a building permit to do solar, and then I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing that. But that would be awesome to have, you know? Turn the sun energy into nice cool air. Like, shoot. Why not? Yeah. Is it possible to have time set to charge and uncharge? I don't know, because this one's it's recommended just to keep it charged, if that makes sense. In the app and stuff, yeah, they recommend you just leave it plugged in all the time. Yeah, it's really cool. The mini splits, it's wild technology, honestly. Yeah, I wish I would have been able to go with the solar option, but again, with my city, it's too much of a nightmare to jump through hoops, and yeah, I'm not doing all that. I don't think people from our city would understand that they're not actually connected to your house, like power. You know what I mean? They're connected straight to the air conditioner. And like it doesn't backfeed into the house that way, like, you know, but our city probably, they're a bunch of idiots. So I'm not going to do that. The only saving grace would be if I was able to get neighbor, like the guy that I don't like, if I were able to get him to understand it and be on board. He knows like everybody that works at our city because he was in construction forever. And so he knows like all the inspectors and everybody at our city. So like years ago, actually, when we had our new siding put on our house, like, shoot, I don't know when that was. Mom was still alive, so it was a long time ago now, right? It's like 10 years ago, or better. And as part of putting new siding on, we had a new meter base put on our house. And we took the incoming line, we went out through the roof, right? So to get it higher across the backyard. And something about the way the electrician did something. Oh, the electrician that we hired, who was like a friend of a friend, I believe. It was a friend of a friend. The electrician that we hired hooked to the main line coming in or something, hooked our power back up. But like at the time, I'm pretty sure Mom was on oxygen, or maybe she wasn't. Maybe she wasn't on oxygen at that time. I don't think she was, actually. But like, you know, you still want your power on, you know? It was summer, it was hot, we wanted our AC on. So the electrician hooked us up. Man, the city guy came and he saw the electrician hooked us up without having the little city sticker on it. He was starting to blow a gasket. And then he saw our neighbor and he's like, oh, hey, Fred. And got talking to Fred. And I'm pretty sure Fred kind of saved our bacon that day, if you will. It's the only nice thing Fred's ever done, you know? But, he, basically kept our electrician from getting in trouble. And, then the guy put the little sticker on and he was good to go. And I just kind of looked at him and I was like, gee, thanks. So, I guess the electrician wasn't supposed to hook us up. Till the city guy came out and put a little sticker on the meter base. But whoopsie. They get really picky about stickers. Yeah, they do. They really do. Oh, man. Oh, Babs, to your point, there is something in the EcoFlow app, and I don't have it turned on right now. But there is something about, like, location, which I think is weird, but you can turn on location of where your battery is. And so what it does is it watches the weather. And it's like, oh, you're forecasted to have storms on Thursday, but we'll make sure the battery's charged. Which is kind of insane, but like, I don't have that turned on. I don't like that. It just, yeah. Or it'll like send you a reminder like, hey, you might want to plug in your battery. Kind of insane, but yeah. I don't have that turned on. Because they don't need to know my location. I mean, let's be honest, they probably already do. But there's that. But yeah, I don't have that part turned on. So I thought that was kind of weird. Personally. I haven't had my notifications on. I don't. I haven't gotten any notifications about my battery this year. So that's okay. Looking at my notifications from my battery backup, that's a weird thing to say. That's weird. So time power. They might, yeah. They might do that. They might, yeah. I don't know. Hang on. I'm going to have to Google and see which one I got now. Is that the one? I think that is the one, yeah. Hang on. That's not that. Well, wow, what did that just pop up with? That's not the one. Amazon, what are you doing here? Amazon's sending me one with like a 220 plug on it. That's not it, Amazon. Thanks, but I don't quite have that set up. Jeez. Luigi, man. Why is Amazon being weird, chat? I think I should just search that. Hang on, let me, 1 second. I'll tell you exactly what I got. I know it's the Delta 3, but I don't know which Delta 3 it is. If that makes sense. Might. Okay, I have the Delta 3. EcoFlow Delta 3. Hang on. It's 30% off right now, chat. So I have the, it's just called the Delta 3 Portable Power Station. I guess it's not the Pro or the Classic. It's just the Portable Power Station. I guess. It's got a 1,024 watts, watt-hour battery. So kilowatt. It's got, it'll do 1,800 watts, which is kind of wild. 100-watt USB. Which is crazy. It's got 6 plugs on the front, plus USBs. So, And yeah, it's kind of pricey. I mean, it's $489 right now. It's on sale. So I guess that's good. And then I have the expansion battery for it too. I think honestly this stuff, it's one of those things where it's like once you get into it, you're just like, I want a bigger battery. I want a bigger battery. I want a bigger battery. Because already when I go look at that, I'm like, oh, I should get the bigger battery. Oh man. You have spot pricing. Technically I think we do too. I think electricity at night's cheaper. Yeah. You might be able to set up like a time thing on it. I haven't looked into that part, if, you know. Not sure. Hang on, I can just post the link if you want. Delta 3, hang on, I can just post it. I don't care. It doesn't matter, chat. Let's see. It's funny, the first couple ones, yeah, that's a basically the same thing, but it's got a 220. Oh, that thing's bigger. Oh, it's got a 3,000 watt hour. Oh my god. What? I need that. Charge up when it's cheap, use it when it's... You might be able to do that. Okay, hang on here. See, I don't like that it does that though. Chad, I'm not gonna post the link because when I take it to another browser, it still has my like zip code in there, and I'm not doing that. So I always get nervous about posting Amazon links. I'll be honest, I always get really sketched out because I don't want to like, you know, dox myself here, you know. Not trying to give you all my zip code. I'm sorry. But yeah, not trying to do that. Took it to a browser. I wasn't logged into Amazon and it still had my zip code in there. So yeah, we're not doing that, chat. Not gonna happen. Sorry. I'm always paranoid about that. That's why I don't like look up Amazon stuff on stream. Like you're not gonna see me pull up Amazon on stream because it literally says your zip code right on the page. That's not happening, chat. I think I did it one time a million years ago, actually. Like low key, I forget what I was looking at. I was like, oh, let me just pull this up. Yeah, it was bad. Pretty sure it replaces the, oh, does it? That's all good, Sean. No worries. Oh, man. No worries. But anyway, it's a Delta 3. How about that? EcoFlow Delta 3. That's what you need to know. And so far, I've been really happy with it. Actually, back at our pumpkin party, this might sound dumb, but we had all those crock pots of food that we took to our pumpkin party. And Zach was nice enough to come over and grab a whole bunch of those crock pots because, you know, you don't really want to haul crock pots in the back, like in the bed of a truck. And like our truck was full. And so Zach came over and I just took the whole battery thing and just set it in the back seat of his truck, or his dad's truck, and plugged in all the crock pots, and it ran all the crock pots for like an hour. So, I mean, you know, all the food I took to our pumpkin party was hot when we got there. So that was pretty sweet. So that was one time I completely killed that battery, actually. Yeah. Yeah, completely smoked that battery that day. But that's all right. It's all good. It happens. Did you find it, Sean? That's the one, Sean. Sean found it. Sean found it. That's it. Thank you, Sean. There you go. So it was definitely an investment, but you know, it's a peace of mind thing. And then the other part of it, okay, so part of it, the main part is so I can have it for my setup. And then, like I was saying, the other part is if we have a power outage situation, I can take it in the house, set it on my kitchen counter. I can run my fridge on it. And then, what's it called? I don't have to run the gas generator all night. Oh, it went to your zip? Okay, Jeff. All right. I'm paranoid. So like if we're getting a long-term power outage situation, I'll plop the thing on my kitchen counter and plug the fridge in. And then like say overnight, we could just leave the fridge unplugged technically, and we could run a few fans if we wanted to. And then we don't have to run a gas generator all night because the things are annoying. And then in the morning, go out and fire up the generator for what? An hour, 2 hours maybe, and charge the battery back up. So I think there's something wrong with my grain cart. Farmer, that is farm sim. I don't know what causes it, but it happens quite a bit, especially with this grain cart. Combines, that happens, trailers, it happens for everything. I don't know why. The only way to fix it is to restart my game. And it's not just me that has it happen. Matt has it happen all the time, but I think he uses the same grain cart. So I think it started actually with the Plains and Prairie DLC, if I want to be honest. Maybe. Actually, I think we had it happen before that because it used to happen on Alma all the time. Like before the DLC. So I don't know. They did something and broke it. That or it's a mod issue. I don't know what it is, but it definitely has an issue. We'll just leave it at that, you know. Definitely has an issue. Happens on your single player, Jeff? Yeah. No, it happens. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know. It could be a mod issue, but I don't know. It's been happening to us for quite a while. Quite a while. That's okay. Only happened once or twice for you. That's good. It happens pretty much every time I harvest. Almost every single time I harvest, it happens. For the record. So, yeah. All right, chat. It is 3 o'clock break time. So I'm gonna step away for a second here. You guys can ride with the JCB over over here in field 1. So I'll be right back.